Good evening, everybody. And today I'm going to go ahead and discuss the movie Sahara. So, this actually is one of my favorite movies. I absolutely love this movie. I don't know why it was so heavily criticized when it came out because it really is a classic. So, there's some fun history scenes in there, there's a lot of fun action scenes in there. So, I'm just going to go ahead and start it and kind of review as I go along. So without any further ado, let's get into it. This movie's been described as having the longest intro of any movie. So the ship that's shown here is the CSS Texas. The Texas was a real ship. She was based in Virginia. And I find it very clever that they use her in this because in real history, what happened was she did sail once for her sea trials. And then when Richmond was overrun by the Union at the end of the war, as is depicted here, the Confederacy scuttled her. So it's somewhat accurate in that the CSS Texas was present for this battle. She was the newest ironclad around. What is not really accurate here, and you see this all throughout this scene, is the exploding cannonballs. I don't know why Hollywood loves to do that. And, for some eras and some films, it's forgivable for dramatic effect, but not the Civil War, because there were plenty of other weapons that did explode, that did make exploding projectiles. You had things like mortars, you had artillery pieces that were firing down on the cities. I mean, look at what happened with Atlanta. Okay, Richmond had very similar what happened to it as well. When Sherman came through, so it to me, it's the exploding cannibal thing is not acceptable because of the fact that there were other weapons during this war that could have been used in place of the exploding cannibals. So, one other thing I would like to point out is that Texas is depicted running the blockade, making it out into the Atlantic, and ending up in Africa. That's the premise of the movie. People love to criticize this movie for that and say an ironclad could never make it. There's no way it would ever do it. That's not entirely true. There was one instance of a Confederate ironclad that did make a transatlantic crossing. It was late war, and it ended up in Europe, worse for wear, but it did make it. And in theory, an ironclad could reach Africa. But could Texas? Texas was a Columbia class ironclad. She doesn't look like a Columbia class here. She looks like a Virginia. Probably not. A Columbia class probably was not. She wasn't designed for transocean travel. But other ironclads were designed for transoceanic crossings, and probably could have made it. It's very implausible that a ship like Texas could have made it if they had decent weather the whole way across, maybe. According to the movie, there was a storm that swept her inland. That's honestly not that implausible. Ironclads, in general, weren't really great at dealing with stormy weather unless they were designed for ocean travel. Monitor famously was swamped in a storm, but that's what happens when your top deck is only like 6 inches above the water. So go figure. But an ironclad, like what one is depicted here, with the tall sides and the deck that's well above the water line, maybe, maybe. It's not like a guarantee, but it's not a total impossibility either. It's highly improbable, but it is possible. So I will allow that. And but uh it's a stretch. It's a stretch, but it's not impossible. Okay, let's just put it that way. So supposedly that is the gold bullion that the Confederacy had. There's a lot of stories that go around about the Confederacy that I find interesting, and one of the funniest to me is the idea of gold bullion, and it just doesn't make sense to me. I feel like that if the Confederacy did have gold bullion lying around somewhere, someone would have found it by now. I mean, there's no way. We know where the Confederacy was going outside of their own territory. We know who their contacts were. We know all of this. So, the only gold bullion, or really generally the only treasure, so to speak, that the Confederacy had was on the SS Republic, okay? So the idea of gold bullion here is completely fiction, but it makes for a nice story.
Sorry, Captain. It's all right, son. Just keep moving. That's the future on your hands.
I really love the stereotype. When people think of the Confederacy, they think of the South, and they think of, Southern accent, like what Captain Toombs there has. But there were quite a few Northerners who served in the Southern armies, and there were quite a few Southerners who served with the Union. Most famously was Admiral Farragut. Farragut was a Tennessee and Virginia native, and he basically told the South that if you secede, this is treason, and we're going to come get you. That's exactly what happened. He was a hot-blooded character. He was the one who made the famous quote, "Damn the torpedoes," at the Battle of Mobile Bay. And man, he deserves his own movie. He really does. Unfortunately, the naval side of this conflict really isn't shown that much. This is only one of 4 movies that have ever been made, as far as I know, that deal specifically with the Navy side of this conflict. And the other 3 are a depiction of the Battle of Hampton Roads between Virginia and Monitor, the movie The Hunley, which came out I think a couple years before this did. Good movie. And then another one, a very old time one, like a 1912 one. So there really hasn't been that many made about the Navy, which is really kind of surprising considering that the Civil War is actually the second most talked about piece of history in the entire American historiography. It's second only to World War II. And actually, for a while there, the two were actually trading off in terms of what was actually being discussed and how much of it was. So it is kind of surprising to me that the Navy doesn't really get its due, both the Union and the Confederate Navy. And actually, speaking of that, all 4 films that are made about the naval aspect of this war were actually on the Confederates. There's nothing on the Union Navy, and I find that really funny. Granted, of course, a lot of it was just blockading, but there were a few instances of excitement. You look at the Battle of New Orleans, look at the Battle of Mobile Bay, and look at Kearsarge. USS Kearsarge went all over the world hunting Alabama. Now wouldn't that be a story? Would be a movie about CSS Alabama and USS Kearsarge. That would be awesome. So it is kind of surprising to me, and to me, it's actually also kind of sad that the Navy doesn't get its due in this conflict, and the Union Navy doesn't get any credit at all. It's always the South. Although I will grant, when it comes to batshit crazy stuff that the navies were doing, the South definitely wins that trophy for sure. And honestly, probably still holds it to this day. They did some real wacky shit. There's a lot more guns depicted on this ironclad than actually would have been there in real life. A Columbia class ironclad, correct me if I'm wrong here, I think only had 4 guns in total. She's depicted more as a Virginia, so I would say maybe 2 or 3. She's got at least 6 on there. Actually, she might even have 8 in this depiction. I don't know. So it's definitely way too many guns. But, and of course the cannonballs explode, which is totally unforgivable to me. I can forgive it in some movies, but I can't forgive it in this movie when you have perfectly other acceptable forms of ammunition that do explode. Right? You have mortars, you have different artillery pieces that did shoot exploding shells. All right. They even had, I think, at one point, a rudimentary form of napalm, actually. So, it's a very sticky incendiary that was pretty nasty. The North did. So, that's where I find that unforgivable, is that why waste your time with cannonballs when there are other forms of artillery that are period accurate that you could use instead? What I will say that's accurate is what we just saw. That is probably the only accurate thing, I will say. Okay? The fact that it explodes in the end, yeah, no. But, let me show it again. I'm actually going to show it. And I also do it when I own a gun. I love that sound. Love that sound. That's actually how it would have sounded too when it bounced off the iron hull. And that's what I'm saying when it's accurate, is that these cannonballs could not penetrate the iron hull. It couldn't. Ironclads were built to withstand Union assault for this particular reason, so that they could run the blockade. Their intention when they were built was to be blockade runners. And the only way to do that, the Confederacy knew they weren't going to sneak past the Union. They had hundreds of ships around the coastline. They weren't sneaking past. But what they could do is just design a ship that could absorb all this punishment without breaking a sweat and just push through. And that's exactly what the ironclad was supposed to be.
Prepare to take us into the
So that actually is very accurate. Glances off that armor plate and then goes in a completely different direction. The fact that it explodes in the end, again, not very accurate, but I do like this particular part.
Ahead of half. Make revolutions for 5 knots. Aye, sir. Range 150 yards.
So you would have a spotter who actually usually would be up on the bridge, calling down to the gunners on the deck below, because you couldn't really see out those gun ports. There really wasn't much to see. They weren't very big. The smaller the hole you had in these things, the better. The whole point of an ironclad was to be as armored as possible. So you really don't want to cut any more holes in that armor than you have to. So you would have had somebody up top who was spotting, who would have had a better field of vision than you did down below. And they would have been relaying their targeting information to the gunners. But the things that they're talking about here, the fact that the guy's standing right there, that's probably not accurate, especially at night. At that point, you really couldn't, again, you can't see much out of those gun ports. But um, uh, what they're talking about, giving this target information to the gunners, the range, the elevation. That's all very accurate. Again with the exploding cannibals, but at that range, there's no way you're missing. It wouldn't explode like that, but it'd certainly take out that position for sure. Okay, that actually is interesting. So see what happened to that tree right there? See that chunk taken out of the tree? Now that actually is accurate. I didn't see that particular cannibal explode. It didn't look like it did. It looked like it went through the position and took a chunk out of the tree and then continued on off screen. That actually is probably the most accurate cannon shot we see of the whole movie. I will absolutely grant that. That looks accurate to me. Because cannonballs were known to lop off people's heads. They were known to go straight through people's torsos. They were known to even to go through horses, through cattle, through homes, whatever. It didn't matter. These things, if they were fired close enough, they'd go through anything. Well, almost anything. They go through anything but steel or iron. So at this range, and this is probably maybe 100 yards, going through a tree and taking a chunk out of a tree, no problem. No problem. Well, unless it was live oak, and then it would bounce right off. Constitution has entered the chat. So another thing that's accurate here is the smoke. I mean, all the smoke that's coming out from these positions every time a cannon is fired, there is a lot of smoke that comes from that, a lot of black powder. So the visual field getting covered by this haze is accurate, absolutely. I don't know if it would be that bad, but sure. And so you got the ironclad going down the river with Union troops chasing after it. It's not something that I think actually happened during the war, but it's not something that I'm going to fault the movie for either, because it is definitely plausible. You could have had a situation like that if the timing was right. The setting is Richmond in 1865. Am I thinking? At the end of the Civil War, you have Union troops everywhere that are surrounding the Confederacy. You got a blockade out at the mouth of the river. Presumably, you would have Union troops at that point who would be on the banks trying to keep the ironclad in their sights. So I could grant that, sure. Oh, she's taking a beating. Man, and again, this is what the ironclads were designed for. They were designed to take a beating like this and just break through anyway. They weren't designed to be subtle. They were designed to just keep going. Okay, so that actually is interesting. So actually, I really do like that particular thing. So what we have here, right? Again, we have all of these cannonballs that are hitting and not penetrating. But given the punishment that she's taking, sooner or later something's going to happen. And I do actually like this because it shows the design of the ironclad in a very subtle but very important way. So see that? So ironclad is a literal term. It means that the ship isn't built of iron like a modern ship would be. She's ironclad. So that means she has a wooden hull. She's built like a traditional wooden ship. In fact, the earliest ironclads were converted frigates, wooden frigates. The most famous one of all, CSS Virginia, was originally the Union frigate USS Merrimack, a wooden hulled ship with 3 masts. So what is done is you build a traditional style hull, a wooden hull, and you literally put plates of iron over the top of it, in some cases up to 3 inches of iron, and you rivet those onto the wooden hull. And so what you have is literally a wooden ship that is ironclad. That's where it gets its name. And I really like this scene because what you have here is you have a situation where the Texas has been taking such a pounding from the Union that you have the wooden hull at this point, which is starting to cave. Presumably the plates, the iron plates on the outside, are dented and pushing the wooden hull inward, and that's what's causing this cracking. So you'll see in the next volley that she takes another hit in this area, and actually the Union does actually break through her hull. In theory, it is possible. If you pound a spot for long enough, you will eventually break through, but it takes a lot. And again, this is why the Confederacy built these ships this way. Boom. I mean, again, the exploding cannonball I don't really like, but it would have been nasty if you broke through an ironclad's hull like that. It would not have been pleasant, that's for sure. You could have possibly blown up a cannon and that would have been voyage over, but obviously this is a movie and the Texas has to survive, so we'll continue on. So what I like this captain doing is gets into the smoke and he says, run silent. Right? He knows that his ship can't take much more of this beating, even though she was well designed for it. This is beyond even what she can tolerate. So he needs to play possum. He needs to play dead. He needs to hide in the smoke, count on the night. It looks like he's down moon, so the moon's light is actually going behind him rather than on him or in front of him. So basically, he's gonna blend in, essentially, against the background of the uh, trees on the shoreline on either side of him. And then he's going to use the river current to carry him downstream away from these Union troops that have these batteries along the river, and he's going to slip past the blockade later on in the night.
Stop engines.
Captain.
Stop engines. Run silent.
Cease fire! Cease fire! Close the gun port! Cease fire! Still! Cease close the gun port!
Yeah, you can see how she starts to blend in here amongst the smoke and the fog and the night. There were plenty of instances in sea battles during the American Revolution and the War of 1812 and the Napoleonic Wars in which ships would engage in close quarters cannon fire combat, and even if they were right next to each other, the smoke could be so bad they couldn't see each other. So it's definitely plausible that at night a black colored ship, an ironclad, could absolutely hide in that haze and slip away. Absolutely. Again, this is a great intro. And this next part I also really, really love because of all of the Clive Cussler Easter eggs that are in there. So there's one of Sandecker's cigars. So right off the bat, we've got an Easter egg there. In the lore, Sandecker and Al Giardino are always butting heads over these cigars because Sandecker suspects that Al is stealing his cigars when in reality Al is actually ordering them from the same Cuban family that the Admiral uses. But that's a great Easter egg right off the bat. You got that bottle of tequila. Dirk Pitt famously loves his tequila. And then you got all this stuff here about the Texas, and then you've got Giardino and a younger Dirk Pitt there present there as well. So, you know, again, these are all
I've
wonderful
been in the right
pieces.
place,
And the
but it
song's
must have
really
been the wrong time. I done said the right thing, but it must have used the wrong line.
Love this
I've been
song.
on the right trail, but I must have used the wrong car. Head is in a bad place, and I wonder what's good for. I've been in the right place, but it must have been the wrong time. My head is in a bad place, but I'm having such
It's a
good
great way to
time.
have a title.
I've been running, trying to get hung up in my.
Yep, see, so Clive Cussler famously was a avid car collector. He loved his old cars, and this model actually is one of the ones that was in his collection. So very, very, very clever.
Mind. Just got to give myself a good talking to this.
You have that German Messerschmitt model there that in the foreground that is present in another novel, and then on the right, actually, I think that was actually from the Mediterranean Caper, and then on the right you have that conch shell, that seashell, and then that was from another novel. So again, really, really fun. And then you have this picture here where one of the guys is holding a baseball or softball or whatever it is, and I like that because that's a nod to pneumophiles. Kurt Austin famously loves baseball, so you got not just Dirk Pitt Easter eggs, but you got Easter eggs to other series as well. I'm actually now going to start looking and see if I can find an Oregon Files Easter egg because that's my favorite series.
Time. Doesn't need a little brain salad surgery. Got to cue my insecurity. I've been in the wrong place, but it must have been the right time.
So Dirk Pitt in Cussler's novels was ex-Air Force rather than ex-Navy, but I can forgive this.
I've been in the right place, but it must have been the wrong song. I've been in the right vein, but it seems like a wrong on. I've been in the right world, but it seems like the wrong.
Oh, yeah, there's the Race to Titanic reference. Never get tired of that.
Slipping, dodging, sneaking, peeping, hiding out down the street. See my life shaking with every who I meet. Refried confusion as I'm making itself clear. Wonder which way do I go to get on out of here? I've been in the wrong place, but it must have been the right time. I've been in the right place, but it must have been the wrong song. I've been in the right vein, but it seems like a wrong on. I've been in the right world, but it seems like the wrong.
Of course, this is classic Dirk Pitt. You know, he's always right there when something happens, and that ends up getting him in contact with the girl. I never get tired of that.
Mr. Nokolo? Mr. Nokolo.
You have no business being here. Ah! Quick, get her back! Are you okay?
And of course, in Cussler's novel, it would read, "The last thing she saw before it went black was a pair of concerned, opaline green eyes staring down at her." I mean, that's was always the kind of the classic line that Dirk Pitt would have.
Alright, give me a wrench. I need a wrench. Wrench! Anybody there? Oh! Alright, oil, I need the oil. Alright, oil, thank you. That's it. Alright, we're good! We're good!
Sorry. Here. Hi, LG or Dino?
Eva Rojas.
Nice work.
Thanks.
You're welcome aboard.
Thanks.
All right, turn it on. Go down. Go, 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 go. More. Keep going.
Hi. How are you? Feeling better?
Yes, thank you.
I'm Rudy.
Sorry, where are we?
This is the Martha Ann. It's a pneumo boat ship. We didn't know who you were, so we kind of patched you up ourselves. You had an edema of the upper tracheal tract.
Ready! I've been waiting 2 months for this moment. Don't mess it up for me by letting him drown.
Yes, Admiral.
Cover up, and 5, counting 4, 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, may I introduce to you after 772 year engagement on the bottom of the ocean, Keith Bunty! Nice job, everyone. Except you, Al, what the hell? 10-ton rated winch, my friend, not a fly fishing rod.
You know what? You're thinking of the Thompson 1291, whereas you're astride a 1293. Not that you could operate either one.
Boys,
Sir, sir,
the king meets the people at the museum in 5 hours.
Don't worry, sir.
he'll be there.
You better be.
I loved that simultaneous response. That was just textbook. I love it.
Hey, who's on her feet?
Thanks to you, I guess.
Look like you just lose your bag. Danger City.
Hang on.
Damn it, I did lose my bag.
Nothing worth dying for, I hope.
Well, that's a tough question.
Nothing worth you dying for.
Hey, Dirk, get your butt up here so we can scrape some of the crap off this thing.
Excuse me.
Come on,
Wife.
ladies, get this routine unhooked. Clean him up. We got a party to go to.
Admiral,
Retired. Jim Sandecker.
Eva Rojas. I'm with the WHO.
You look like you could use a cup of coffee.
All right.
Hey, I need your help. Is
This
it left
better not be like
over
last
right,
time.
Or is it right over left? I can't remember. It's driving me nuts. Is there something about a rabbit going around a tree or something?
I'll be there in an hour.
What? Dirk?
That was O'Shoddy. He thinks he might have found something.
Oh, that's great. That is fantastic.
Thank you very much.
No. Fantastic for me. I can't wait to tell Sandecker that you're not going to be at the museum tonight because one of your contacts from the Nigerian underworld has found evidence of a Civil War ironclad shipwrecked in a storm
off Africa.
Yeah, right. That's what you're talking about, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Sandecker's gonna freak.
Look,
And I'll be there. He'll turn all red.
Fox chases
Go.
the rabbit around the tree and down the hole. That's how the tie works. Don't you worry. I'll be there.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. First, I'd like to thank the Lagos Museum for this magnificent reception. I would also like to thank our primary benefactor on this project, Yves Massard.
Thank you.
We are NUMA, the National Underwater and Marine Agency, and this, ladies and gentlemen, is what we do. King Batin.
Where is not at the buffet. Damn
With the
You want another
help
kebab?
of museums, with the help of governments, private organizations like ours can work in partnership to make sure that history that has been lost to the tides of time can be returned to its people. Thank you. Thank you so much. Have a lovely evening.
Do you have a CD burner on that ship of yours?
Yes, the same one I bought from you last month.
I have a wonderful piece.
Sorry about that. That was real life again. Taking in. I do a lot of sailing and out of town stuff and things like that. So sometimes I get caught up in all of that, and I mean, just for example, tomorrow I'm heading out of town for a couple days again. So, but I love it. I love what I do. But anyway, let's get back into this. Oh, I still have time to do it.
Straight from the Iraqi National Museum.
Don't show me things like that, O'Shoddy. We're not that friendly.
Okay. Now, here it is. A very special piece. The one I spoke to you about. It breaks my heart just to show it to you.
Where did you get this?
Cash, please. We are not that friendly.
I think we should go back to the hospital.
Admiral, have you ever seen a Confederate gold dollar?
Oh, dear God, don't start this
Of
again.
course not, because the Confederacy never made a gold dollar. The mint was destroyed near the end of the war.
I beg you, on my hands and knees, don't.
But not before. Jefferson Davis had 5.
So when Dirk's talking about that they never made a gold dollar, Confederacy didn't. That's not entirely true. The Confederacy did. It was referred to as the 1861 D Indian Head gold dollar. These were struck in the branch mint at, if I can pronounce the name right, Dahlonega? Or is it Da Lonega? think it's Dahlonega. Yeah, I think it's Dahlonega, in Georgia. So that's where the D comes from. Is the D in Dahlonega. So these were made after the Confederacy seized the mint there in Georgia, and they were made from the U.S. gold bullion. Because remember, this was originally a U.S. mint, and the Confederacy came in and took it over. And they were made with the U.S. gold bullion and the dies that were used from 1860. And so the result was that this coin was crude. It was very poorly struck because you're using an 1860s die, a used die, to make an 1861 coin that has different markings on it. So the relief isn't that great. And it is the only U.S. coin that was struck exclusively by Confederate authorities. So some other coins were that were made by the Confederacy were later issued by the U.S. after the war, such as the ones that were captured and taken on the SS Republic. Those were intended to be melted down and then restruck as U.S. coins. This was the only one that was exclusively made by the Confederacy and only ever by the Confederacy. There were far more than 5 of them made, but no one really knows exactly how many there were. The estimates range from 200 to 500 all the way up to 1,500. But it is a very rare coin. It is one of the rarest, if not the rarest, and desirable gold dollars. I mean, it is insanely rare. A mint state is worth almost 200 grand. Some of them even go for more than that. I mean, an MS-65 went for $240,000 a couple years ago. So these are very, very, very high-priced, very desirable coins, and because of that, I guess they kind of have a certain mystique to them. So I'm sure that whoever was writing this movie knew that, yeah, there were probably about 1,500 of these things made, but that's really not a hell of a lot. Not at all. So you got the Confederate gold bullion myth, and you have the Confederate dollar, which was a real coin, and I guess they just kind of played off of each other, these two situations. So I will give it to the writers. This is actually where you have good historical fiction writing, is you take a real item or a real event and you extrapolate from that certain scenarios. So you have the situation with the Texas at the beginning that was a real ironclad. It was in Richmond at the end of the war, and it was the newest and last ironclad the Confederacy built. It was the best that the Confederacy had. And you extrapolate from that and then decide, oh, we got a blockade runner. You get the Confederate gold dollar that was made in 1861, the 1861D, of which only 1,500 were made, so it's a very rare coin. Who knows how many of them still exist today? Probably very few. And you have the Confederate myth about the gold bullion. Why not apply that myth to the gold dollar, which we know, even though it was struck, was very rare? So this is how you build upon fiction writing, is you take these real historical events and you extrapolate scenarios from them that are at least somewhat plausible. And this is actually where I really like how this movie works. And this is Cussler's genius as well, is that he can take different situations that seem completely unrelated. You have the Texas on one hand, and you have this modern toxin issue on the other, and you bring them together. And actually, I think even in the novel, there was, and you see this briefly in the movie, where Dirk and Al come across this plane in the desert. And if I remember right, I think in the novel, there was actually even a chapter about how the plane got there in the first place. And that, to me, was always Cussler's genius, was how he was able to take these historical scenarios and put them into the context of the modern day and combine them with modern events to create a story that's both fun and engaging and at least somewhat plausible.
He gave 4 of those samples to his top generals: Lee, Stonewall Jackson, Jeb
Every
Stuart,
time
and
we
Johnston.
come to Africa, out comes
Okay. First of all, Jackson was not a top general. Okay? The other names that are listed, all right? Lee, Johnston, I missed the third one. I'll go back.
But not before. Jefferson Davis had 5 samples made. He gave 4 of those samples to his top generals: Lee, Stonewall Jackson, Jeb
Every
Stuart,
time
and
we
Johnston.
Okay, Jeb Stuart. Johnston was the general in command at the Battle of Atlanta. He was the one who faced Sherman at the Battle of Atlanta, famously, and lost. Lee is a given. Stuart, I'll grab that. Jackson became a general later on in the war, but he was a colonel, I think. Really, he was like colonel for most of it. He wasn't a top general. He was a lower ranked general. He was damn good at what he did. There's no question about that. And the reason that he's remembered is just because of his name. Really. And it's funny that they say Stonewall. I mean, everyone knows him as Stonewall Jackson. That's not entirely true. That was his nickname. He earned that nickname early on in the war at the first Battle of Bull Run. And he was rallying the Confederate troops that were initially in retreat, and under him they re-rallied and formed a defensive line that the Union couldn't penetrate. And his commanding officer, which I think it was Lee, said at the time, Jackson's like a stone wall, and the name stuck on both sides. So that's how you get that. And if you have a kind of a quote unquote kind of a cool name like a Stonewall, you're gonna be remembered. But he was actually born as Thomas Jackson. Thomas Jonathan Jackson. So the nickname Stonewall came later. So it's funny that Dirk's mentioning it, calling him Stonewall Jackson as though Stonewall was his first name. It actually wasn't. It was his nickname. But everyone knows him as Stonewall Jackson.
come to Africa, out comes that stupid ship model, out come the old port journal.
I love Sandecker's expression on this. He's just like, please just shoot me in the head. I love that. Oh, poor Sandecker.
Malian Civil War. Fighting with the Tuaregs is too severe, you know that.
I think we should go back to the hospital and join you.
Admiral, have you ever seen a Confederate gold dollar?
Oh, dear God, don't start this
Of
again.
course not, because the Confederacy never made a gold dollar. The mint was destroyed near the end of the war.
I beg you, on my hands and knees, don't.
But not before. Jefferson Davis had 5 samples made. He gave 4 of those samples to his top generals: Lee, Stonewall Jackson, Jeb
Every
Stuart,
time
and
we
Johnston.
come to Africa, out comes that stupid ship model, out come the old port journals. We are leaving for Australia tomorrow.
4 of those samples have been found. But the 5th never was. That one was given to an old family friend of Davis, a brilliant young sea captain named Mason Toombs, captain of the CSS Ironclad Texas. Huh?
Where in the hell did you get this?
Frederick Oshadi, and he got it from a man named Indigwe. But the important thing is that Indigwe found this in Labazanga, Mali.
Hey, my dad.
So in real life, Texas was never assigned a captain. She was one of 2 ships that escaped description when the Confederate forces retreated out of Richmond. The other being the CSS Buford. She was really pretty much still in the yard at that point. Again, she'd only ever run her engines once during her sea trials. She pretty much wasn't given a official captain. If anybody actually did technically probably have command of her, it would have been Lieutenant Commander Chandler of the Union, who captured her near the end of the war, and taking his monitor Sangamon, he basically towed Texas down the river to another area where the Navy then appraised her and unfortunately scrapped her, which I'm kind of upset about because she actually was in really good shape. But so I don't know the thing about Toombs. I think Toombs is just a totally fictional character. But the idea that a valuable piece of the Confederacy was given to a family friend of Davis is not far-fetched. Politicians do this all the time, even today. They get certain gifts from manufacturers, and oftentimes as well, people who are close to them will get preferential treatment for different gifts. I call it having leprechauns at Congress. So it's not far-fetched. It's more than plausible, and almost certainly did happen in the Confederacy. And it happened in the Union as well. And it still happens today. So I don't have a problem with that. Even though Toombs is a fictional character, the idea that he was given something valuable of the Confederacy by Davis because he was a family friend is more than a reasonable argument.
Ed collects coins.
No, that coin and the Texas were on the Niger River.
It's impossible. An ironclad couldn't make it with her draft.
Let me take the Calliope up to Labazanga, have a look around.
Can't have my boat, Dirk.
3 days, Admiral. Just 3 days, imagine. Imagine. All right, if I strike out, you'll never hear another word about this.
You got 72 hours. Not a nano.
So some ironclads were built to operate in the shallows where the Union ships could not go. Others were deep draft vessels, and those are the ones who were capable of transatlantic crossings, and that's almost certainly what the Texas was in this case. And the Columbia class, well, it's pushing it. I mean, Texas, as originally designed, had a draft of 13.5 feet, which isn't insane, but it's not ideal either. I mean, it's shallow enough, I feel like, that she could get up the Niger River, but it's also deep enough that she could find herself into some trouble as well. So, again, in theory, possible, but definitely very difficult. But not impossible.
Nanosecond more. You fellas just bought yourself a boat trip.
You're a gentleman, Admiral. I don't care what they say about you.
I got a bottle, says we never find it.
Tequila, not champagne.
Make it a case.
All right. Your Honor.
Where do you call home?
I have a house in Monterey, but I'm never there.
Monterey. It's great diving in Monterey.
Is that all you ever think about? Diving?
No. Sometimes I think about Petricola falatiformis.
Huh?
The angel wing clam.
Beautiful.
This river's the only place on Earth they're found. When they're underwater, they glow in the dark. Now, the amazing thing is that modern science cannot explain why.
There must be a reason.
Till then, my theory is that they do it because they can.
Dirk! That's it, let's go!
Angel wings. The world would be a lot cooler place if more of us were like that, huh?
right in the middle of the Zine Civil War.
Hey, you ever been after Marlins, Doctor?
Oh, no, not the Marlin story again, Al.
733 pounds, 5.5 hours in the fighting chair.
I thought it was 600 pounds.
Hey, what did you catch that day? I can't remember anything at all.
How long you guys been together?
Since kindergarten, college, Navy, Numa. Poor guy's always been in my shadow.
Yeah, they're really more like
Always the
equals.
Al's maid, never the Al. Right?
Ooh.
Nice, Doc. Just pulling your weight. My watch, Chief.
All right, man.
Your friend Al told me all about your Captain Toombs and his boat.
Oh, he did he?
He also said ironclads were not made to cross the ocean.
Oh, neither was man. Tequila?
And you found a coin.
Not just a coin. I found the coin. Now, I also have a letter from the captain's widow alluding to her husband's urgent eastern voyage. I have a sailor's log on an Atlantic clipper who swears on a stack of Bibles he saw a great iron beast steaming 2 miles off the African coast. Now, what kind of man tries to take a ship like that across the ocean? Why? How? I don't know. But I plan on finding out. Al loves it when people ask me that. Thinks it makes me look a bit.
This must be nice. To have this as your office.
Yeah, every great thing that's ever happened to me happened in the water. Every one.
And that supposedly includes her because he rescued her out of the water.
Rudy, come on, help me out with this. Omar. Got it? There you go.
How long to Asala?
Oh, 6, 8 hours, no problem. You step along?
No, not long.
This one, too.
Think it'll be safe?
Oh, it's okay. Where we go now, no fighting. No problem.
Yeah, no problem.
No Tuareg.
Listen, I've been thinking. When this is over, there's a place I know. It's called Monterey.
Never heard of it.
No?
Playful banner.
It's got a beautiful beach. Golden sands, aqua blue surf. The place is paradise.
Sounds good.
Oh, yeah. I also happen to know a woman who has a house there. And because she's a workaholic, she's never at home. Now, I haven't asked her, but I'm pretty sure that she wouldn't mind if you dropped by.
Can I bring a friend?
You'd have to ask her.
I already did.
You did. You, me, and the Bay of Monterey.
Thank you for everything.
You're welcome.
And good luck to you.
You as well. En route, Doc.
Love it.
Bonjour, madame, ça va? Mr. Indigwe, he li... Un moment. Indigwe, he find this 1 week before, yes?
You know, I'm not too much of a linguist, but that didn't sound too good.
Indigwe's dead.
Yeah. Hey, the check? What is it? L'addition?
Hey, you know, my dad collected ancient coins from Rome, China, Siam, Persia,
Somehow they all ended up in a shoebox in New Jersey.
Meaning?
Coins travel, Dirk. Huh? I mean, even if that poor guy was still alive, could have been nothing.
Yeah, but the coin traveled from somewhere, Al. You know, unless it hitched a ride on the back of a dolphin. I'm gonna guess that its jumping off point was a little bit closer to where we're sitting.
Natu al Maut. What?
That's Arabic, Al.
Yeah, it sounds poetic. What's it mean?
The ship of death.
Great! We call Sandecker?
Whoa. What ship? Who's that?
You just tell us to come home. Sounds reasonable.
Yeah, and then I get a case of tequila.
Boys, we're going upriver to Gao.
All right. Rudy, you gonna run the sonar on the riverbed?
Come on, I was hoping to meet a girl on the Australia trip.
No, African war zone, ship of death.
That's a classic song, especially considering this is a film about the Confederacy.
16 degrees, 20 decimal 0 minutes north,
Wait,
0.
hold on. It's just some interference with the buoy.
Al?
Yeah, I got it.
When's the last time you checked the calibration?
I had it out of the water 3 hours ago.
All right.
Anything, Al? Hey, guys! Take a look at this!
That ain't good.
It's red algae. That doesn't make any sense. This is fresh water.
I'd better get a sample.
Yeah. Nope.
River? Radio.
Nope.
Radar.
Rudy.
That's not...
It
you
is.
can't even be...
Here you go again.
All right, something I might get.
I spy. I spy.
Guys.
Company.
This is the Malian
I got it.
To be bold, you are trespassing in Malian water. Shut up your engine and...
Hi, this is Al Giordino speaking.
Al, Sandecker, I presume you're on your way home with my boat.
For you.
Right now.
Yeah.
Where are the rest of them? The doctors, where are they? They are looking for the
I have to
doctor.
put you on hold. I don't believe this is a normal shakedown,
If
Al.
you do not shut up your engine, you run the risk of being fired upon. The doctors. We are looking for the doctors. Where are they? Where is the
I'm
woman?
sorry, I don't speak English.
You are speaking English now.
No, I only know how to say I don't speak English in English. Uh-huh. Al? Hi, hold on.
Nice one.
Get my hat! Sorry, it's gone! That's my favorite hat! Are you okay? Yeah! Where's Dirk? I think he's, Hold on!
I'm gonna come in. You, jump on the front.
Want me to jump?
Get on the front of the boat. Got it?
Really? Are you all right? That was close. Yeah, it was. How are you? Glad I'm driving.
Still there?
I am too. Rudy! I shot a guy with a flare gun.
Cool.
What?
Oh shit.
Rudy?
Engine 2 is out! Force them off, man! What do you want to do?
Can't run him now.
I think we need to pull a Panama! Panama? A Panama?
Panama?
You think? Really? Yeah! Really?
Somebody pick up. They're ignoring me. They're ignoring. Everybody's ignoring me. Pick up
Nice
the
to be
phone.
ignored,
Take it!
isn't
We're to Panama! We're going to Panama! What's a Panama?
Navy thing. I didn't know you were in Panama.
We were in Nicaragua.
Then why do you call it a Panama?
We thought we were in Panama.
No, Panama.
What are you looking for? Al! Al, I'm really confused! How we doing, Al? Go help Dirk!
What do I do with this?
Just go!
Open the engine hatch.
Okay! Let's go, Al! Got it! Here, light this! Aren't these the Admirals? Just light it! Whenever you're ready, Al! Come on! What are we doing? I don't think you should be doing that! Okay, drop it! We're good! Yeah. And hold on! Hold on! Okay!
I feel like the Mythbusters should have done a segment on this. Can you actually light a boat's fuel tank off with a cigar?
Hey, I need a life jacket!
They did a Panama. Did a Panama.
Cool. Is that how it worked the first time? Well, it didn't really work the first time.
Gee, I wonder why.
I lost my hat.
Again?
Yeah.
It's funny. Camels do ex machina.
Man, is Sandecker gonna be mad when you tell him you lost the satellite phone?
Not as mad as when Rudy tells me it was attached to the boat.
Wait, why me? Because we're not going back. Right, Dirk?
Nope, we're going to Isolar.
No more Texas?
Ironclad's on hold for a while, guys. Those soldiers weren't after us. They were after the doctors. I got a feeling whatever bug Ava's chasing, it must be a doozy.
Yeah, we gotta get there first.
Okay, I'm going with you guys, right?
Nope, you got to tell Sandecker.
Hold on. How am I going to get across the border? I never took survival training.
Consider this your course, Rudy.
It's kind of pass-fail, which I always thought was easier.
Look, Rudy, lay up here till dark, then make your move. The border's not far. All right. Al, you remember that time in Morocco?
Oh, yeah, when you made me ride that damn camel that bit my ass? Why?
What is the secret to this thing?
Just
Just wrap it around your nugget.
What part? Here? This?
Yeah.
Well, how come yours stays on?
Maybe you got a small head.
I don't think so. Somebody would have told me.
World Health Organization. Hello? Is anyone here?
Frank, look at this.
Anyone here?
Hello? Hello?
Oh my God.
Looked like a horde of Tuareg swine just came through here. And find the woman.
Yes,
She's here.
I don't really have much to say about this. You know, Kazim is a classic version of an African warlord, and you can come after me all you want for this. But quite frankly, when it comes to Africa, different tribes hate each other. They hate each other more than the Middle East hates each other's tribes. Okay? That's just the bottom line. And they've been fighting a lot longer than the Middle East has. So, when you have warlords like this that come into power, they're determined to stay in power, and they're going to do whatever the hell they want. Right? You know, Kazim, in this instance, Kazim's past, he was colonel until the day he shot the president, then he gave himself a promotion. That's pretty typical of African warlords. Kazim is actually based upon a real African warlord named Big Daddy. We all called him Big Daddy in the West. He ruled with an iron fist. And he was eventually deposed by his people when a war against was Angola? I'm trying to remember. Uganda was the country. It was Uganda, Idi Amin, and he ruled for 8 years in the 70s. And I'm trying to remember who he went to war against. Oh, it was Tanzania. So he went to war against Tanzania when the people started to get a little uppity. So he tried to redirect their attention towards Tanzania, but his troops had gone soft, just ethnic cleansing, and the war didn't go so well for him. So he was eventually deposed, and I think he lived out the rest of his life in Qatar, something like that, a Middle Eastern country. I think I remember right. He was totally in exile. It was pretty bad. So Kazim is definitely based on Big Daddy, Imaraman, who is actually a lot worse than what is depicted here. That the things that Kazim did were not even a breakfast for Amon. He was a disgusting creature, and I'll block anybody who says otherwise. He was horrible. He was cruel. We called him the butcher of Uganda because of all the people he killed. We still don't know how many he actually killed, but he probably killed hundreds of thousands of innocent villagers and people and tortured hundreds of thousands more just for his own sick, twisted pleasure.
Somewhere.
Fortunately, this is very common in Africa. African regimes have a very hard time of staying democratic, staying stabilized. There's just too much unrest.
Yume, set up a perimeter. I want you to search the whole town. Hey, Salif, come over here. Yes, sir. Open up a few rounds just to be sure. Hey, qui mon nom? Qui mon nom? Non mais yo mec ah ouais. Mais quel est tes boost? Tes boost de yo mon nom. Non mais
So, what I find interesting about this scene is the difference in doctrine. So you have the regular soldiers who have the machine guns, or almost certainly they're AK-47s. That's the pretty standard bad guy weapon, and it is for good reason because in Iraq and Afghanistan, that's what the bad guys were using. Okay, it's definitely not in my top 10 list of favorite weapons. I'll tell you that. But what you see here is a difference in doctrine. So the main guys, the main soldiers, regular soldiers, have the AK-47s. They have the machine guns, so they're just firing the rounds. Okay. Odds are they probably aren't very good shots at this point because they probably pretty much spend all their time doing a thick cleansing that doesn't exactly give them real military training, mano a mano, military on military kind of thing. Okay, so I don't have any doubts actually that after a couple years of Kazim being in power, that his soldiers are really not very good at what they do. You have this sniper here now, though, that Al's about to go and confront, and he's firing one round at a time. That makes sense. He's probably firing a little bit too quickly for a sniper, but again, these guys probably aren't the best at what they do anymore. And what is intriguing to me is actually, in some ways, actually, is really this does kind of reflect real life a bit. Again, regular soldiers are, accuracy by volume. Okay, snipers are really supposed to just put 1 round center mass. Again, the guy's firing way too quickly to be an accurate sniper, but I can forgive that because I already mentioned these guys are probably leather skills gone soft. The other thing is that when Al actually runs out, and you'll see this, when Al runs out and charges him, the sniper retreats because his position has been exposed. That's exactly what snipers are supposed to do. If they're compromised, they don't stay put, okay? They get the heck out of there.
Come in.
Whoa, Ava!
Come on. You okay? Yeah. Come on. We gotta go.
Wait! Wait! Frank! Frank!
We're done here.
I've heard that my car pleases your eyes.
It's 1936 avant passant.
So the car known as the Avions of Auson is interestingly based on the 1936 Auson C-28. So the film version was actually built by Tessier in France, and it's got a 4-wheel drive chassis, a Jaguar engine. It was very interesting, actually. There were a couple models that were made, but its inspiration was a real car, which is the 1936 Avion Auson. I know we're not very good at French, but it was modified for the film, so so it could be better suited to the desert, which I suppose actually in the film context works as well, because if you're a dictator in a desert country, even though it's a rare car, you want to show it off, and if you want to show it off, you got to be able to learn how to drive it in that environment. And this car was not built to operate in the desert. It was built to operate on the streets of Paris. So very different. But I do appreciate the nod to history here.
We leave in the morning.
I've heard that my car pleases your eyes.
It's 1936 avant passant. 6-cylinder sleeve valve engine. You know there's only 6 of these ever made? How the hell did you get it?
We borrowed it from Kazim.
That is your Texas we're looking at, isn't it?
Sure the hell looks like it.
Yeah, sitting in the middle of the desert. Yeah. Hey, I am not paying off the tequila on a picture, okay? Ship of the Desert's a camel. It's not an ironclad battleship. I mean, there is no way that could get across the desert.
Now, at one time, much of this desert was lush green farmland, and there are rivers everywhere.
True.
Now, the ironclad obviously came up this river and stopped at this structure, which is a fort, a castle, I don't know. So the climate changed. Let's say the water level dropped and the boat became stranded.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, to an extent, that's true. Africa did experience climate change fairly recently, but that was really more in the back in the times of the Egyptians that the major climate change happened. Now, mind you, could there have been local climate change that happened in the area that caused the water level to drop? Maybe? I don't know enough about African climate history to be able to answer that. What I do know is that the gist of what he's saying is true, that a lot of this area was much lush farmland. That's why there are aquifers in Africa, underground aquifers, because that's actually the original rivers that were flowing on the surface. When the sands blew in and covered those, and they run along the rock strata now, as they actually do eventually mention in the scene, that is true. Africa is full of aquifers from that time period in which it was a lush green continent.
Or sailed away.
Or the land dried up, the soil turned to dust, the sands blew in, and the ship is still buried to this day.
Right here, next to the structure.
Okay, great. So all we have to do is wait for the river to fill up again and sail to Texas home.
That's how it's spreading.
What is?
The toxins.
What, in the dried up, non-existent river?
No. The same river that was on the surface 150 years ago still exists. It's just beneath our feet now, sunk in the sand, running along the rock strata. Now, the toxins are obviously leaching from their source into the underground river system.
Spreading from well to well.
Exactly.
So we find your Texas. We find the underground river.
We find the river. We find the source of the toxins.
Apple, not an apple.
It looks like a solar energy plant. That's strange.
You know, I don't know why Africa doesn't have more solar energy plants. They would work incredibly well over there. I think probably the biggest reason is just because it's just so damn expensive to get stuff in there. Also, there's no way that the various tribe leaders and whoever's in charge of a given country in a given time, New Somalia, would ever allow it. And there's no way they'd allow that kind of quote unquote westernization. That's the reason Iran has gone downhill as well. They were westernized at one point and became a creditor nation and had very impressive GDP growth. And then after the revolution in 79, they just went downhill. Now they are the #1 state sponsor of terrorism. And yes, they are. You can fact check me on that if you want, you little Hamas sucklets, but that's exactly what they are. They absolutely fund terrorism. That's what they do. But I digress. I'm not here to talk about the Middle East. So a solar energy plant would work very, very well in Africa. In certain parts of Africa. I don't think it'd work very well in the desert because the sandstorms would be a constant maintenance hassle on the solar panels. But in other parts of Africa, such as maybe southern Africa, maybe Uganda or Tanzania, someplace that's lush that doesn't have sands, doesn't have sandstorms like northern Africa does, but still gets enough sun from being so close to the equator that it does a decent job of what it needs to do, producing a lot of energy. I don't see why not. But having one out here in the middle of the desert, it just seems like a very bad idea to me. Just the sandstorms alone would cost hundreds of millions of dollars in maintenance every year, just because they constantly would be scratching the solar panels and producing their efficiency.
There's a collecting tower.
But then again, solar panels work just fine for the rovers on Mars, so who knows?
But no outgoing transmission lines. Massard Enterprises.
Massard? Eve Massard?
Whoever it is, they've got heavy security.
Let's check it out.
How are you?
How are you?
Oh my God.
Well, I think we found your source.
What are you doing? I got it. Got it. Live. You got it? Clear. Got it.
Love it.
Whoa. Well, that's a new one.
Yeah. We're home free now.
Yeah, in the middle of nowhere.
Sweet to sweet. Run fast, you don't flash, you swim real well. Dancing in the water with a special tail. She's my little mermaid.
Mossad, your packages have...
This photo was taken 24 hours ago. Normally, Qasim likes to keep his tanks where he can see them, in case the people get frisky.
Classic warlord, as I already said. Based on Emer Amon, he would do the same thing.
This one, taken 4 hours ago, shows the tanks mobilizing north to the desert. And my guess, and intelligence supports this, they're looking for your boys.
Well, we'll have to find them first.
No, we already did. Yesterday they showed up in a Tuareg village about 200 miles northwest of Gao.
That's within range. You could get choppers in there if you flew at night.
Your boys already left.
Left? Where? Going where?
Well, based on their behavior so far, I have no idea.
Classic. Would have been a lot more fun if they planned it. Oh, that had to hurt.
Dirk!
Yeah. I see it.
Well,
We don't see that every day.
All right.
I bet you 100. There's a toolkit in there.
I don't want to rain on your crazy parade, buddy, but I don't think we can fix this thing.
Won't have to. Here's the thing, actually, that I like about this, that it's realistic, is that the winds in the desert, there's a reason the sand dunes form in the first place. Okay, the winds coming in off the sea create a pretty consistent breeze all the way across the country. That's what they're harnessing right here. They basically turned one of the wings into a sail, and then they're using the tail of the plane as the rudder. I love it. I mean, you know, as someone who races sailboats myself, I really like this scene because it's so plausible. You could totally do it. You know, there's been stories of desert survivors who have taken paratroopers who've landed in the desert and have used their own chutes to pull themselves across the desert for miles and miles to safety. It's a very efficient way to travel across the desert. Absolutely.
Hello. Hey, Admiral. Dirk? How you doing?
Oh, Dirk, thank God. Where the hell are you?
Well, that's a damn good question. Listen, I've got some bad news. Your buddy Yves Massard, he's got an industrial factory and is dumping deadly toxins into the Niger.
Massard?
Right now, I think he's got Eva at his plant, which hopefully is gonna be our next stop.
Well,
I've got something for you. Rudy's got chemistry here.
it says if that leak's not shut down ASAP, it's gonna reach the ocean.
And when it does, that'll be ground zero for the Atlantic's version of Chernobyl.
I get it.
I've got something more. I've got word that
Kazim has mobilized his troops and is heading across the desert.
We could use some serious muscle here, Admiral.
Well, you're not gonna get it. Not fast enough. I'm getting the DC two-step big time.
That should be an official dance.
this has to be done.
Yesterday, I got it. Hey!
Dirk?
Yeah.
I can't
He didn't even have to say, shut the fuck up.
ask you boys to go this alone.
Well, that's the great part, sir. You know you never have to.
Gave him the coin.
War with us has cost my people in lives, in the poverty and disease it causes.
Then come with us, and let's finish it.
I cannot afford to have my men slaughtered in a full frontal attack. We cannot go with you.
I understand. I got another idea. Can I borrow your car?
Kazim!
Had you going there, didn't we? You?
I
are ya?
Ha 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 ha.
Sahara, go get the doctor.
Move on ahead. Let's go.
Where is everybody? I don't know, corporate retreat? Go.
Something's wrong here, Al. This place is completely deserted.
Wadibo.
Nobody home. Hey, Al?
Yeah.
What'd you do if you were about to be exposed as the worst polluter of modern times?
I think if I remember right, that was Adiba's brother? I think?
I don't know. Run for president?
Hide the evidence, right?
Yeah, right.
How? How do you hide 50 tons of industrial waste without anybody noticing it? You don't. He's gonna blow the place, Al.
That's not exactly subtle.
That's what he's gonna do. That's why it's abandoned. Make it look like an industrial accident, and he walks.
That's a good idea.
No, not really.
Why?
The toxins would be sealed underground, and there'd be no way to contain them, Al.
Look, to bring this place down, you'd need 20 or 30 military-grade devices all wired for simultaneous detonation. It would never look like an accident. Unless one centrally placed device diverted all the plant's stored energy into one massive explosion.
Which would look like an accident.
Yes.
Well, we gotta get that bomb, Al.
No, I'll find the bomb. You get the girl.
Deal.
Got it. Bomb in a barrel.
I apologize, Mr. Pitt. This is not what it appears.
Did I miss something? I've seen your toxic dump. I've seen the sick Tuareg women and kids, and I saw the dead Nasalar. I leave something out?
Get this thing out of here, quick! Stay here, don't
Remote system activated. All personnel, please move to designated safety areas. Advanced incineration burn.
In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Warning, malfunction detected. Initiate emergency shutdown. Thank you, and have a nice day.
Get us out of here, quick!
Ava, how many times am I gonna have to save your ass?
Well, in case you didn't notice, I actually saved yours.
I wasn't in any danger.
Oh, no?
No, I'd have thought of something. Come here. We gotta go.
Hey, what's with the costumes?
Uniforms? It's his idea. Oh. Hey, by the way, with this plan of yours, do we have enough gas?
Oh, stop being so negative, Al.
Maybe he's got a point.
Come here on in her sick!
Kazim! Hey, maybe he wants his car back.
Al! Did you bring any of the explosives from the Sarge?
Couldn't find him.
Al! I didn't have time! Al! Of course I brought the explosives!
Ava, I hope you don't throw like a girl.
He's coming around! Al! I need a door right now!
because that just shows the durability of the AK-47. There's been so many tests that have been done on that gun. I think it was Red Jacket who literally buried it in mud in a riverbank, dug it out, drove a car over it, and then it still functioned. That's just kind of the thing about the AK-47. It's not just a very dangerous weapon, it's a very durable weapon as well. There's really nothing you can do to it that would stop it from functioning. That's why it's so popular on the black market, because, you know, if you want a weapon that's going to last you a long time, if you don't have a ton of money to play around with. Although I find it hard to believe that he could bust through iron like that. Well, that didn't really look like iron. That looked like a section of hull where there was just a wooden trap door, like on the top deck. But I think there was still iron over the top of it at one point. Maybe that section came off. I don't know.
Al? Yeah? You didn't see any extra fuel tanks on that bird, did you?
No, I didn't see any.
That means he only has 20 to 30 minutes left of flight time. These walls are about 2 feet thick with a double steel coating, so there's no way his bullets can get to us.
Iron, not steel.
Just sit tight, wait him out.
Armor-piercing rounds, I don't think they've been tested against Civil War era ironclad hull plating, because why would they? But I don't see any reason why they couldn't penetrate it. These rounds are designed to go through modern tank armor, so I don't see any reason why cast iron from the 1860s would be any problem for these.
Hey, Dirk. Al! You want to talk me through that again?
Armor-piercing rounds.
Yeah.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Oh, I love this.
Hey, Al.
No, Dirk.
Oh, yeah. No.
It'll never work.
Why not?
It's 150 years old.
Al, it's hardly ever been used.
It'll probably blow us to
Well,
bits.
then at least
They both got valid points. The desert preserves metal work like that pretty well because the air is so dry that there's really hardly any corrosion, which is really would be the main concern for a weapon like that. The second concern would be cumulative stress on the gun barrel, and because, as Dirk said, this weapon's hardly been used. I mean, as far as we know, it was only ever used that one time when the Texans escaped Richmond. In theory, it probably would be fine. You still want to take it to a professional and have them test the weapon and check the bore and make certain that it's, you know, okay to fire. But in an emergency situation like this, it's 50-50. So they both got valid points. I think this definitely falls under the category of do not try this at home, kids. Do not try this at home.
we'll die fighting, huh?
Yeah, that's comforting.
We need to open that gun port.
Hey, what the hell are we doing, guys?
I gotta go outside.
All right, go.
Civil War piece of.
Hey, it's not bad mouth for Texas.
I did it.
I'm beginning to develop a soft spot for ironclads. Those rounds look like they glanced off. More than went through.
You go.
The hell took you so long?
What?
Hey, guys.
I stopped for coffee. You get a receipt? Yeah, I got a receipt and I got you one too.
You're the best. Yeah, you know what? I'll even get you the money from Sander.
Guys!
What? Oh, great. Never really in trouble.
We bring down Kazim, the army will surrender. Cut the head off the snake. Buddy dies. Exactly. We're gonna need cannonball powder and fuses.
I got the cannonball. Ava, I need you to find the fuses. They're gonna be in a box about this size. They look something like carrot sticks. Go.
You'll note 150 yards is the same range that was talked about at the very beginning of the movie. Like the foreshadowing. Okay, now, those tank rounds, absolutely, those are exploding weapons. I don't even have to forgive that. There's nothing to forgive there. Oh, absolutely, a coin, if it's shot at and thrown from its box, absolutely, it could become a projectile and embed itself in wood like that, absolutely.
Jefferson Davis had how many samples made?
Let's get that cannon out the portal.
Yeah. Count three, we're gonna pull. Ready, Al? Ready? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's it. Bring me up 30 degrees, Al. Yeah. Got it. So tired of being shot at.
Hold your position.
Sure, Texas is too.
I will finish this.
See, that's what a cannonball's supposed to do, okay? Even if it was something that could explode, I very much doubt it actually would have exploded the way it was supposed to.
Look, 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 look.
Looks like you killed the snake.
There's no way that should have worked, right?
safe. And I also understand the WHO is administering an antitoxin in the villages, formulated from Dr. Rojas' samples.
Better late than never.
Absolutely. So, I trust your work on the Texas is going well?
Giordino's on the job, making sure everything gets where it's supposed to go.
All right! Say, probably not true, but did I hear a rumor there's some American gold on board on the Texas?
Really? It'd be nice if it were true. No, I can assure you there's no gold there belonging to the U.S.
Technically true.
Admiral, the administration was highly impressed with the way you expedited all the red tape down here. They'd like to fold Numa into...
No thanks. I'll never work in government again.
That's exactly what they said you'd say. Look, they're offering full funding in exchange for the occasional side job for the good guys.
Who decides who the good guys are?
You only do the jobs you want.
I need a new yacht.
You got it.
And Rudy needs new computers.
No. I'm done.
There's one more thing.
I love this.
Don't say you love me, 'cause I'll only kick you out of the door. I know your name is Rita, 'cause your perfume is smelling sweet. Since when I saw you down on the floor. Guitar.
They switched his water out with the toxic water. Is what they did. So he gets this illness.
I don't mean to sound degrading, but with a face like that, you got nothing to laugh.
Nice sunglasses. So overall, I really enjoy this movie. There's of course historical inaccuracies everywhere, but it's a movie, and that's the thing about movies. It's not always about them being historically accurate. It's about them being fun to watch and tell tales that draw from history in a way that's exciting and passionate and full of intrigue. And that's exactly what this movie does. So, hope you enjoyed. I always enjoy watching this, and I'll see you all later.